Hello and welcome to the very next video presentation from Mayer's Teaching Institute. The topic we will be discussing today is about social health. It's one of the topics in the Maharashtra State Board of Class 10th syllabi, and thus I bring to you a presentation describing the factors that affect our health, what is stress and how do we manage stress, and about social health in general. So, what are the factors that affect social health? And what is social health? So, when we look at this table, out of all of these various aspects of social health, we think of only one or two of the other, which is given out here. We do not realize that sometimes the financial status of someone else compared to ours gives us a certain kind of effect on the peace of our mind. The kind of education and job opportunities, and hence, with respect to job opportunities, the kind of salaries we have, in turn, affecting the kind of food, clothing, shelter, and medicines we can offer our families. And this is a whole vicious circle, and therefore the circle affecting our very own health. Social health is the ability of a person to establish a relationship with other persons. The ability to change one's own behavior according to changing social conditions is an important characteristic of social health, that is, adaptability. Various factors like a strong personality, having large number of friends and relatives, proper use of time during loneliness and with peer groups, trust in others, respect and acceptance for others are all important criterias for one to have good social health. But still, there are many a factor that affect people in different ways and affect all our social health. The first and foremost being mental stress. Competition has increased due to opportunities for education, employment, business, and majorly due to increase in population. Children are facing problems of loneliness and mental stress due to reasons like nuclear families and parents staying outdoors due to jobs. There are many bindings on girls and excessive freedom for boys, and this gender discrimination creates an insecurity or a stressful situation for many women. In order to lead a much healthier life, we need to bring families together. We need to give equal opportunities to both men and women alike. In our society, many of the adolescent girls till today are facing issues of molestation and teasing. And many of them don't even speak it out. But they are looked down upon because of the inequality they face. And we do not see how far just the molestation can turn into a mental disorder. Nowadays, everyone is faced with stress due to the ever increasing disorder, crime, and violence. At the same time, people look at this as a fast and easy way of making money. Many of them scapegoats and become parts of such systems. This is one of the most deadly effects of social illness. Another one I'm talking about is addiction. And particularly since this is going to be a video presentation for adolescents, children who are particularly in grade 10, I would like to specify the whole idea about addiction as a peer group influence. Peer group influences are very strong in the case of adolescent children. They always prefer the company of friends and follow their good and bad habits instead of the advice of parents, teachers, mentors, etc. Children in their early ages try to act upon drugs, other things like tobacco, cigarettes, gutka, alcoholism. And because they do this, because they think of it as a very high standard of living, and as it is even shown in movies and all today, we all look upon it as a very casual, a very fun, a very enthusiastic lifestyle. However, this may lead to addiction for various deadly substances. We can all think about it that probably we start with a single cigarette just because our friends were doing it. And there comes a day that cigarette, one per day, becomes two, becomes four, becomes a packet, becomes two packets, and finally, there is no stopping. There is no turning back to this. I do not believe alone that addictions are a factor just to alcoholism, tobacco, or drinks and drugs, etc. We are even addicted to various other factors: excessive food, binge eating, excessive habits of certain behavior. We have seen it in obsessive compulsive disorders. People repetitively like to do certain tasks. People are addicted to the habits of cleaning. Some of these addictions can be good but have negative effects on the body. And some of them are bad in social life and are bad for our own body as well. And as we're a part of this whole scenario of addiction, there are certain times we are faced upon various scenarios of certain incurable diseases. And one such disease is a mental disorder. And it tends to affect us much, much more greatly in the long run. Yes, we do know of other incurable diseases like AIDS and leprosy. Okay, leprosy has kind of got some medication today. But we do not have the real medication to a mental problem. We can only support you, we can guide you, we can counsel you, but it depends on one's own self. Liquor is produced from alcohol and obtained through fermentation of substances. However, if this process is performed in a wrong way, poisonous liquor can be produced and can be fatal at times to many people. The efficiency of the nervous system, the liver, lifespan of a lifespan of a person is also decreased. And sometimes people don't like alcohol addicts. That develops loneliness to them. Brain development in adolescents are hindered due to alcoholism. They lack memory. Their learning becomes slow. Their adaptability is totally incapable of adaptability. And finally, with them, their whole family suffers. Another problem with our world today is the communicative media and the modern use of technology. We are all slaves to modern technology. That is something which we have commonly very heard about. And the communication media is something that we would all sit on Instagram to give likes or sit on Snapchat to post a new picture, even though we are all at home, work, school, college, out, anywhere. People sneak in their phones to different places and they're able to still access their social communication places. I'm going to highlight a few pictures from the textbook. And as a task after watching this video presentation, it would be good if you all could write down a small little paragraph about each of these pictures. So in the first picture, I'll just use an annotator out here for you all. So in this picture, we can see that the mother is pulling the child in to come to study, and it says then, and it says now, go to play. When I look at these two pictures, it's a comparison between two different generations. In the past, children would want to run out of the house to play, and their parents, or particularly the mothers, had to pull them back home to study. Today's world, the children are at home, they're not studying, they're on the phone. And the mother's pushing them out to go and do some physical activity. I remember some years I encountered an answer written on the same thing, very humorously. The writer says that in the first case, the mother's pulling the child in to study because he wants to play out. And in the second case, the child is studying so much that now the mother is telling him to be out, to go out and study. But it's not that way. It is the fact that we are on video games, we are on mobile phone games, we are playing PUBG, we are playing Asphalt, we are playing Fortnite. I'm not speaking bad of these games. I'm speaking the fact that we are so hung up on these games that we have to realize that we have to step back a little bit and give ourselves that physical activity time by moving outside. In the very next image of this boy eating food and using his mobile phone, the image highlights that we are not taking care of our own selves because we are not looking at the food we are eating. We are not appreciating the food we are eating. We are neither paying attention to chewing it properly, hence leading to health issues of digestion and other bodily systems. And we want to discuss how the cell phones have taken our attention towards itself rather than on important things, even like food. The next picture of this person standing in the middle of the road clicking a selfie describes our capacity of the human mind to make one person stand at all difficult situations and click a selfie. We have heard of so many accidents in the newspapers where people have been standing at cliff edges, waterfalls, and they have gone falling down in the water and died. Because we are taking the risk to click a picture. Because we want those likes, we want those appreciation from those friends of those or the relatives of ours that we are not getting it otherwise face to face. So we want this appreciation on social media. And we are ready to take the risk. But the risk is at the cost of our very own lives, dear friends. The next and the last picture on this slide, we are seeing a person who's injured by an accident, who is probably bleeding in the center. And we are seeing people standing around, clicking pictures, but no one is running to help. Insensitivity would be the word I would use here. The picture highlights insensitivity towards our fellow brothers. And you can see how we are technological slaves. We want to spread the news faster than rather actually helping the person and saving the person's life. So this is something that we have to all think about and realize. The next is about cyber crimes. Cyber crimes is a growing. Banks are continuously spreading messages on their mobile phones not to disclose Aadhaar, PAN, credit card, debit card numbers, OTP numbers, other personal information to any person who you do not know, because your bank itself will not call you to ask you. So therefore, they also insist that your own ATM PIN for withdrawing cash should not be told to other persons. Like this picture put out here to you all, we can see the person, a nice joker, fun, humorous. But we can never imagine the dark side behind this person. We cannot imagine who's there behind the screen. And therefore, the screen is your thief. The person behind it is your thief. Consumers are deceived by showing superior items on the website, by actually selling the items of either inferior quality or impaired ones. One of the most common problems. We are paying for something that's really good, we think, but what we get is something very bad. Of course, we've got return policies today, but not everywhere do these return policies actually work. Bank transactions are done using PIN without the knowledge of consumers. Confidential information about government institutes, companies are obtained on the internet with the help of systems of hacking. Crimes like opening a fake account on Facebook or other social media platforms, displaying false information, teasing girls, exploiting financially backward families, is all of a case of, growing today. In fact, we have all heard about the boys' locker room on the media platform. So you see where the media can actually run in certain ways. Misuse or illegal sale of written literature, software, photos, videos, music, etc. of others are now being obtained on the internet and without any privacy. Electronic media is being misused by sending derogatory messages, spreading vulgar pictures, and inflammatory statements. Exchange of information through media like email, Facebook, WhatsApp, and other platforms like this is very, very fast. Very fast. When we compare the world back again, when World War I and II happened, people had not even known that the atom bombs had fallen for almost a week or a month later. Today, even if there is a little bit rain somewhere, we'll come to know, within a few seconds. So yes, the world is connected fast. We are all surveilling things across the internet, across the world very, very fast. But the cybercrime unit is one unit that's going to be looking after us, looking after our own securities and helping us through our privacy. So therefore, the police department has the new cybercrime department. Next, stress management. This wonderful little picture will remind all of us as we have walked as children with our parents, touching the water of the sea, feeling that little calm air across our face and giving us a sense of relaxation. But when we return back to the world, the real world where we have to work, we realize that that dream is over and we're back to its reality. But still somehow we have to maintain and take care of ourselves and actually work through the stress. How is this going to be possible? So one of the most common examples is we hear a lot of people in gardens, particularly old people, gathering around with their groups and having something known as a laughter club. It's a stress relieving pattern, helps releasing the hormone serotonin, which is one of the happy hormones, makes us feel good, relieves our stress. And other habits like fostering hobbies like probably a material collection like a stamp collection, coin collection, photography, reading, cooking, sculpturing, drawing, rangoli making, dancing, sport activities, etc., which we can use in our free time, is something that can help us rejuvenate, help us de-stress, and return back to our very own lives. And therefore there are many a times that certain cases have arisen where it becomes very, very difficult, very, very difficult for people to handle the stress, to handle any other kind of mental disorders. Government and private firms are now setting up a lot of counseling centers. We could always consult people. We could consult counselors. We could consult psychologists. But if it is ever a little beyond the capacity of just handling it with a counselor and we need drugs or medication for the same, a psychiatrist would be useful there. So please avail to these resources that we have within your country, within your school, within your area, if you're ever facing any problem like this. I understand today we're all during this lockdown period in our lives. We find it important that this lockdown is becoming a trouble for many of us. This lockdown is affecting our health, and predominantly it's affecting our social health. Avail to a lot of counseling centers. There are a lot of people opening up counseling centers on online platforms today to give you some aid. Please avail to them, use the resources, and get a good, healthy life. Thank you. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support will help us go a long, long way. Thank you.